All right, we'll open it up for questions for AJ, please, and everybody's good.
Between Wilson and Coleman, that's a lot of size on the outside for Florida State. What do you have to do as a corner to combat that?
Obviously, we have to go out there and compete. All three of us are, looking forward to the challenge. They're great players, so we can't wait for the challenge on Saturday.
You've played a lot of games here. Have you ever gone up against as talented of a duo as you're going to go up against Saturday?
I'm sure I have in my career here, but, I always try and respect every receiver that I step in front of because we're all Division I football players that have made a lot of plays and earned starting roles in our respective programs. So, like I said, it's a great challenge this weekend for all three of us to get to go up some of the top receivers in the country. So
when you were younger, do you remember a time like watching film and really just being amazed by a certain wide receiver? Like, who was the first guy that kind of like stood out that you remember preparing for, being like, wow, this guy is special?
I'd say when I first started playing my sophomore year, there were a few that I remember watching.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I've gotten way better in my film analysis because I was really young. But the kid from Florida State, number 5, I was just rewatching our old game, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember having to really focus because that was my first game starting again back in 2020. So he definitely gave a good challenge, and that was probably the first guy that I truly remember. But I played against so many great receivers in my career.
It feels like you, MJ, and Marquez, you guys have done tours together with how long y'all been playing together. With the fluidity that you guys have, who is maybe one of the younger players who you guys have seen be able to kind of mix in with that fluidity if it was needed?
Yeah, the next 3 guys that are up, Ryland, Crump, and Noah have all done great things throughout practice. They all bring a different skill set to the game, just as the 3 of us did when we were coming up. And you saw them get a little bit of time in the past game this weekend, and for the most part, they were able to hold their own in a, big game situation such as that at the end of the game. So, I'm excited to see what they do in their career here moving forward when it's time for us to move on.
Watching video of Travis now compared to playing against him 3 years ago, what kind of things does he do now that maybe he wasn't doing then?
I'd say he's always been a really good quarterback and really good athlete. When he stepped in there in 2020 and drove them down the field, and they were up, I think, 21-0 against us, and that was all his doing, being a great quarterback and a great athlete, and he's still that. I'd say he's gotten, better and fine-tuning his skill sets, but he's always been a great athlete and a great player for them. And, like I said before, great opportunity this week to see what we can do against him and the rest of the Florida State team.
You've had a lot of success in recent weeks on the blitzes. I mean, is that something that the coaching staff kind of just handpicked you for, or is that something you're extra comfortable doing? And what's kind of allowed you to successfully get in the backfield so well on those, rare opportunities when they call your number to blitz?
Yeah, like you said, it's not as common for a corner to blitz as much, but I'm just super happy that they're able to call my number and I'm able to make those plays. It all starts with coaching, alignment technique that Coach Collins and Coach Narduzzi has pressed into all the corners throughout time since I've been here. And, I've gotten better at it through the years, and I've finally been able to capitalize on those practices that I've ran those blitzes 100 times and make plays on them and help us get off the field on 3rd down or make it 3rd and long when my name is called.
I was going to ask you, did it seem like when you were out there on 3rd down in that package, could you tell that Notre Dame was like, hey, watch 9, where's 9 at?
Yeah, they were, the receivers were checking, the linemen were checking. Sam Hartman, he checked to me, he was telling the running back to pick me up. And, it feels good to, have my success be noticed in that way and them account for me, so it helps other players in the back end and make plays. So
just on the note of
one more for AJ, and then we have Nate Temple in the wings here. Go
so
ahead.
On the note of the guys that you have to match up against, I mean, do you enjoy those big challenges when you're going up against guys who are going to be in the NFL one day, who are some of the biggest receiver names in college football. Do you enjoy knowing that like you got to go toe to toe with those guys?
Yeah, it's always exciting for players that play my position and me specifically, and all the guys that have played me, Marquez, MJ, to stack up against top names because, you know, we always like that challenge, and every week a receiver is going to challenge us, but, you know, this week they're special on the outside, so, you know, we can't wait to see what we can do against them.
AJ, thank you so